presenter today, we do welcome any feedback. If we do run out of time for questions, we'll make a note of your question and email you privately with an answer after the webinar. And we'll also be sending out a recording of the full webinar later today, and all of our webinars are available on our website. So for those of you who have possibly just joined us in the Business Link Pacific Network, either as a business advisor or as an SME, or even if you've been with us for a little while, here's a quick refresher of what BLP is all about. So we are a government-funded private sector development initiative delivered by DT Global. We currently work in 6 countries, Samoa, Fiji, Vanuatu, Papua New Guinea, and more recently this year, the Solomon Islands and the Cook Islands. In each of those countries, we work in partnership with chambers of commerce, financial institutions, and the private sector to develop a business advisory service provider network in the Pacific region that improves access of business services to growing SMEs. So we do all of this by offering 3 main services. We have an online business health check, which helps businesses identify where there might be some gaps that could benefit from business advice. And we also have an online business continuity planner, another free business tool similar to the health check that focuses on business continuity planning. We have a searchable database of over 90 BLP quality approved business advisors, and all of our business advisors go through a quality assurance process to ensure they are qualified and reliable. We offer the BLP subsidy scheme, which helps growing businesses gain access to quality business advice and support at a subsidized rate from our business advisors. Since 2018, we have supported Pacific Island businesses in many ways. And for more information about our services and how you can connect with Business Link Pacific and our network, please visit our website, businesslinkpacific.com. Our webinar presenter today, we're very happy to have her back, Akae Beach, who is the founder and director of Beach Accounting Advisory Limited in Papua New Guinea. Akae is from the Mortlock Islands, a group of atoll islands east of Bougainville. She is a certified practicing accountant and has been an advisor and a consultant for over 20 years. She has Big 4 chartered accounting experience in Papua New Guinea, Brisbane, and the Gold Coast. She's also the treasurer for the Port Moresby Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Transparency International. But Beach Accounting Advisory is a BLP quality approved business advisor in our network, and Akae has research, innovation, and training at the core of her business model. She's also a very strong advocate for cloud-based accounting technology, which is what she's presenting with us today. We're very happy to have her back for part 2 of investing in cloud-based accounting software. Akae, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, Anisha.
You're all good, Akae. You can go ahead. I'll present your presentation in a minute. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'll just need that presentation to go up. Hi, everyone. Sorry, Anusha, is the presentation with you?
Hi, Akae. Yeah, it is. It's just taking a minute to load. Maybe you can just do you just want to do a quick introduction while I'm putting this up?
Yep, sure. Just 1 second. So cool. Sorry, 1 second. All right. Okay, sorry. We're there. All right, so investing in cloud-based accounting software, part 2. Okay, yep. If we can go to the next slide. I think for most of you who were not here in the last presentation, we covered part 1 then. I will be touching slightly on a couple of things that I covered before for the accounting options, software options, and the cost and benefits. Today, the presentation, I've got a bit on introduction and why is cloud accounting important. And then I'll touch on the accounting options and the cost and benefits. And then setting up on the cloud accounting software and a discussion on a case study that we did very recently. And then the conclusion. Next slide. With COVID-19 this year, there is no better time now to work online and set up all your accounting via the cloud to address the demands of the pandemic. The way we operate has changed due to social distancing. Inefficiencies in business operations may have been able to persist before, but now that the coronavirus has forced everyone inside, legacy processes have been exposed. So, if you are already using a desktop software, this is a good time to move to the cloud. One of those advantages of moving to the cloud from a desktop is also, you'll be able to get that support that you wouldn't get when you're on the desktop. So, to help with your operations as shutdowns or lockdowns have been happening, it's good to get your team on the cloud. And if you have a small team, if there's only less than 4 of you, it still makes it easier, to manage, while on the cloud. Next slide. Why is cloud accounting important? I'll just touch on three main things here. I mean, the first one is a no-brainer. You can easily save everything in an online database that can be accessed from anywhere, and it makes it easy for your team to collaborate, no matter where you are or where they are. When you are saving things in physical files in your office, you can lose them at any time. And you also are having a lot of storage. You're using a lot of storage to keep all your paperwork. Whereas if you're on the cloud, everything is can easily upload there, and it stores there. And you can also, your data on the accounting software, you can also back it up. It's all backed up actually automatically. So, before, when we're using desktops, every month or every week, you have to do a backup to do that. Whereas when you're on the cloud, you don't need to do that anymore. And also the good thing about storing on the cloud is, when you're using your camera to take up the documents via the camera, for example, it stays exactly, the prints will be clear exactly as the day you got that receipt. Unlike if you're storing the physical file in your cupboard or in your filing cabinet, receipt prints do get faded, so it's over time. So it's good to have them up on the cloud. The cloud services end up reducing the amount of paperwork required for the accounting functions. Paperless invoices can be easily captured. It's much easier to work with paperless documents, easily captured, processed, and stored. And it reduces your cost of printing. At this COVID period, you want to reduce as much cost as you can. And, using the cloud can really help you do that. And it speeds up your payment process. I mean, when you prepare the invoices on the cloud, you can email it straight away to your client, and they can pay you because they will see it straight away. Unlike before, when you are preparing all your invoices off the cloud, you have to then save it, have the time to save it first, or scan it. And then email it to the clients. Whereas on the cloud accounting software, you can email it straight from the system. You don't have to go and do anything to the document. You just pick it up, and the email of the client is already set in the accounting system, and you can email it straight from there. Next slide. This slide, we had this slide in the last online meeting we had. I've just, the difference I've done is I've added the cost of the subscriptions in here, so you can see and you can compare. These are not all the softwares that are, not all the packages that are available under these particular softwares. QuickBooks Online, excuse me, Xero, MYOB Account Right Standard, and MYOB Account Right Premium. So these are, I just wanted to touch on the main ones that we offering at the moment, which suits the business houses and organizations here in PNG and in the Pacific as well. I think most of the businesses, when they do a setup in PNG, for example, they go straight into full operation mode because of the way costs are so high. You want to start earning income straight away. I think sometimes setup can take a while for some businesses, but the majority of businesses that I have dealt with, as soon as they register their business, off they go. So it's good to get the right software and the right plan right from the start. So we opted for the premium plan for these three softwares. So we have a partnership with the three companies, and you'll have other accounting firms or other service providers who might be also doing similar things as well. And these are the plans. So the first one there, you will see QuickBooks Online Plus. The plan is the Plus. And you have Xero. The plan we look after is Premium, or we encourage. MYOB Account Right is the standard plan. And also the MYOB Account Right Premium plan. You can see the cost there, the differences in cost. Now, for the rest of the features, they're very similar. Only the standard for MYOB Account Right doesn't have multi-currency. And also, if you go to the bottom, for mobile applications, MYOB Account Right Standard and Premium do not have the mobile applications. And that's because it's not a cloud software, but it's available on the cloud platform. That's the difference between MYOB and the other two softwares. So QuickBooks Online and Xero, they're both cloud, they're fully cloud softwares, and also on the cloud platform, whereas MYOB Account Right is not a cloud accounting software, but it is offered on the cloud platform. Otherwise, they have all the other features available. You can see the packages and also what functions that they can do. They're all similar. They also have user interface with also applications, other applications available. I know that Xero and QuickBooks Online, you can integrate with as many applications that are available right now. Especially they use the API as an add-on software. So if that makes sense to you, if you have any questions at the end regarding this schedule, you're more than welcome to ask. If we can move on to the next slide. So just a little bit, I'm not going to go too detail in this discussions on the costs and benefits because I've touched this in the last part, but I'll just cover a little bit. We have MYOB, the cost here. As you can see before, the standard is $70 per month. This is AUD. And then you have the other plan, which is called the Plus at $109 per month. And the Premier, as you can see, it's $140 per month. The next one. And then you have Xero, which also has three plans. We've got the Xero Starter, Xero Standard, and the Xero Premium. And the Xero Starter is at $25 per month, and Standard is about $50, and the Premium is $60 per month. Next slide. And then you have QuickBooks Online. There's about 4 plans. You have the mobile one. You've got just mobile, you have QuickBooks Essentials. The mobile is $10 per month. Essentials is $27.50 per month. And then you've got the QuickBooks Plus, which is at $38.50 per month. And that's the one we're encouraging most SMEs to use. The next one. So just quickly, some of the benefits, I just want to go very quickly on them again. One is, you can work from anywhere, as I mentioned before. And two, you can, minimize your cost. And three, you can easily install and update. You don't have to do the updating. It's all done at the software end. So once your subscription, once you've paid your subscription and your software you've been given the access to the software, you will not know when updates are happening on the software like before when you were on the desktop. When an update is happening, we all know, and we have to stop everything and wait for the update to happen. Whereas this time, when you're on the cloud, you don't have to. You don't have to wait. They do it at the back end, and you don't even see it, or you just see the difference. And security. I know there's been a lot of concerns about, security. People have concerns when they're moving to the cloud. I always think that the security, if you're not on the cloud, is much more higher than putting all your stuff on the cloud. When you have all your data in your office, for example, anyone can lose the paperwork. They can get faded. If there's a fire, you can lose everything. Whereas on the cloud, if your computer gets bent in an office, you can still access everything. You just go and buy a new computer and access all your data in there. So I always feel that the security on the cloud is much better, and they have two-step authentication process. If you're worried about somebody hacking into your data, you can have two steps where, when you're logging in on a different computer, the system will pick that up, and it will ask you to go and confirm whether it's really you. So you have a second way of confirming that it's you, not just your password. So you might be giving another phone number or another email address where they need to send it, so you can confirm with a secret code that it's you. So I don't worry at all about security on the cloud, because I feel that it's got a lot more security than keeping stuff on the desk or in the filing cabinets or on desktops. We can go to the next slide. Next one is automatic and regular backups. I think I mentioned this already. Everything is automatic. Once you process it, it's all saved, and any backups, again, it's all done at the back end. It's user friendly. All these three softwares are very user friendly. You can use any of them. It's up to you, and if it's within your budget, and if you prefer one of the softwares because of maybe you notice there's a slight difference and you prefer, for example, Xero to QuickBooks or MYOB to Xero, then that's your choice, and you look at the budget as well. Sorry, just 1 second. My apologies. Working from home has some disadvantages as well when you have kids. So user-friendly. And then, so any of the softwares are very user-friendly. Some might find QuickBooks Online a lot more user-friendly than MYOB. As an accountant, I love all three. I don't have any preference. So it's just up to the clients or the potential clients on what they prefer, and also what their budget is. Number 7, you have better help and support. When you are on the desktop, it's very hard for you to get access sometimes to the support. I mean, yes, they might call you eventually and fix the issue you're having, but they have to have access to you remotely before they can help you, and sometimes that is quite painful. I have experienced that over the years. When it comes to cloud, The software support that I get on the cloud is a lot better. I mean, it's much better. You know, instantly when you can chat with the software guys when you're having a problem. And if you're dealing with a service provider, like an accounting firm or another cloud provider that's on the ground or in your country, you know, you can get the support anytime. It's easy for you to call them up. You have their name. It's the same person you are dealing with, so you know you know them. You know how they're going to help you every day. You have that assurance easily when you're dealing with when you're on the cloud. And also the cloud provider can also access your stuff very easily, and they can see what assistance you need and help you straight away. Next slide. Collaboration is very easy when you are on the cloud. All your team can see the same thing you're working on, you know, instantly. You can also talk to each other as when something is not done correctly, and you can, you know, you don't have to wait the next day. You know, as soon as you're working on a document and you need somebody to go and make the changes on it, you just call them up or email them. Come on, get it corrected. So especially when you're working on you know, on a client, and if you are an accounting firm too, you know, you'll find this very easy when all your staff are working on different clients, and they all you have access to everything that they're working on. You can see what progress they've made with the clients. So it's you know, it's very easily easily you can collaborate with your staffs. And if you're working with the client, you know, whatever the staffs are working on or the client is working on, you can help, you know, you can collaborate with them straight away. When they're done with the bookkeeping part, you know, the accountant can take over and start working on the accounting part or the review. So collaborating online is easily, it's very manageable, and you can collaborate easily. Next one is scale your business at less cost. With the cloud, you know, you can increase the number of staffs you have without costing any extra on the software. There might be a couple of softwares that you have to deal with. Sometimes it might cost just a little bit extra to add on another user. But when it comes to these 3 softwares, those plans that I showed you, they're all unlimited. So that means any users you add on, it doesn't cost you anything extra. If that's changed in the last week, then I'll have to update you later. So it doesn't cost you to scale so much. I love it because my business expanded so quickly, and being on the cloud makes it very easy for me to add on staffs and to you know, to increase my business without costing me extra. The 10th is a direct link to your advisors, investors, and the board. So you know, there's been some businesses where we're dealing with, and they have a different director and different owner, and they all need access to the files for their clients. So you know, it's easily done. You can give them reporting access if they're not doing any processing. Just give them reporting access, and they can see the reports. They can go and look at the reports themselves or the draft accounts themselves. Especially if a board meeting is coming up and they want to know already what's happening on the accounting side. So that really helps being on the cloud. Next slide. Yep. So this is the part where I want to discuss a little bit more in when you are setting up. When you have had a look at the software's options. I mean, you know, the entire world is transitioning to remote work, largely in the cloud. And you know, before you make the decision, it's good to know what you have, like how many computers you have, how many staffs you have. Do you have a computer? If you don't, you know, get one. You need to know a few things before you get set up, and I just want to go through them. Setting up your hardware with the updated version of Windows or operating system if you're on Apple, if you're using Apple. But Microsoft, you know, make sure you have the latest Windows version before you get onto the cloud. When you're buying a new computer, you know, you should then install the right version of the Windows and OS. Have a good internet connection that covers the number of staffs you have. if you only have one staff, sometimes having just a mobile hotspot can also work really well in certain areas, like in the city. For example, in PNG, in Port Moresby, I find mobile hotspot connections are quite good, and it's we haven't really had a lot of issues. As long as you have the right internet plan on it, then you shouldn't have an issue. But if you have more than 10 staffs, for example, then it's best to and even 5 staffs to 10 staffs, it's best to have the right prepaid or postpaid internet plan with your internet provider. There's a lot of good internet service providers now, and costs are quite cheaper. So that's it's a good time to connect to the internet and work online. Confirm which accounting software you would like by testing it. So there's some people who prefer. Most of the clients we've dealt with or that we've set up, they've never really asked to test the software, but we do encourage them if you want to see what it's like. I've noticed that with Xero and MYOB, most people wanna do a test on it, and that's fine. When you are trying to make a decision, find out what the trials, how you can access the trial versions, so you can play around with it, for a week or two, just so you know what they're like, and you can see, which one you are comfortable with. So confirm which accounting software, and then you can then ask for the quotation. And when you do get the quotation from the service provider, always ask about the software support. This is one area where a lot of clients sometimes forget, or business houses sometimes forget when they're getting onto a new software. Always not only ask for the subscription cost, or also ask for the setup cost, and also ask about the software support. So the software support is, when you need help anytime. If you're stuck in logging in, or if you don't know how to direct yourself to the right module on the accounting software, can you ring them and ask for support? And is it gonna cost you, or is it gonna be free under the subscription that you are paying? So always ask about that. And also before you confirm, with the software, and also making your payment, also know what contact, who the person is at the other end that will be giving you that support, that software support, so that way you know their name and you have their email address and their phone numbers, so you can contact them when you are stuck. The next one is, once you know how much it's going to cost, also find out about the training. Are they giving you any free training for an hour or two to show you where all the modules are, or can they also do extra training for you, so you can, if you have never used the software before, and how much will it cost for the trainings as well, and how many days, how long is it? So ask that information, confirm all of that. And the other one is then you need to decide which staffs in your business are going to need access and are going to be using the software. If you want all your staff to have access because they're all working on the file, then confirm what their email addresses are, and also their full names. You have them, provide them, so that they can get the right access. And you can also decide what level of access that they need. One of the staffs might be just doing purchasing, or you might have one staff doing everything and they need the full access. Or you might yourself, you might want the reporting access, so you can see the reports. You can also check what they're doing. The next one is, once you've received the quote and you have paid it with the service provider, that's when the setup process will start. So they will create the file at their end, your accounting file at their end. They will make sure that they put the addresses in, or you can make those changes later, those details later. But important thing is they set up the chart of accounts. There should be a chart of accounts already there, or if you have a specific chart of accounts that you've been using, you can provide that to them so that they can create it for you. And then access will be then given to yourself and your staff. and then you can then do your setup at your end. Once they give you the access, you will then have to log in, create your passwords. And my encouragement is, create strong passwords. What I find is that capital letters, small letters, numbers, and also characters, they do give a strong password. So have a good strong password for your login, and also have an authentication, two-step authentication process. Have that right at the start. And if you didn't do it at the start, you can still make the changes later, that, you want to use that other phone number, or you want to, as a second step of logging into your account or into your file. When you are doing the setup, you need to keep members of your team in the loop of all the changes you are making in the business, with setting up the software, because there might be, a day or a few hours that you need to set up properly before you can then start using. And, keep your team up to date, and even your clients too, on the progress of the setup. And also, if everyone, check on everyone, make sure they're all using the system when they set up. So it's, it's like you're managing a project, a small project of software setup in your business. Have good communication happening between you and your team and your clients as well, in case they're waiting for you and you are making some big changes in your business with going online. And then lastly, I wanted to just discuss a quick example of a recent setup that we did for a client here in Port Moresby. So this one client called us up, and we went over. They wanted to meet and discuss about the software setup for them, because they've been operating for 5 years and they have never had a software, or they've never used a software. I mean, they're going from nothing, just keeping records, hard copies of their invoices, everything filed in a manual folder. And we are now going to discuss software. So they're jumping, from nothing to a software. So they're not even going from a desktop. They're going from nothing. So we went and had a meeting with the client, and we discussed their options. Again, I did the similar thing where I showed them the different softwares that they can have access to, or that we are providing support for. And I also showed them the cost of each of the software, and also the subscription cost, the setup cost, and if there was any additional training cost that we would give. So after the meeting, we then went back. They wanted to do a trial. So we gave them access to the trial. I just took their email addresses, connected them to the software, gave them access via their emails, and they had access to trial version straight away. So they were testing it for about a week. And in the meantime, I did up the quotation and I sent it to them. And after a week, they came back and said, "Oh, look, we've decided to go with this other software, or with this software that you're providing." And so we then gave them the quotation. They approved it, paid us, and then we made we created the file at our end, gave them the access straight away, and then I sent our software trainer to go over and start a training with them, because we do give free training for a few hours, at least up to 4 hours, 2 to 4 hours. And so they trained them, and then we then just did a follow-up after that. So when they were comfortable after 2 hours, they said, "Oh, look, we'll give it a try now and enter everything." And I said, "Look, we can also help you, to process all your stuff." So on the quotation, there was also another option I gave them. Do you want us to go back? Do you want us to help you go back 5 years and load all your entries, of the last 5 years onto the system? Because remember, they didn't have any software before this. So when we asked them, do you want us to start from 5 years ago and enter everything, or do you want to just start straight away this year from January? Because in PNG, the year starts from January to December, so it's good to have the whole year on the file. So when we asked them, they said, "Oh yeah, actually, can you help us go back 5 years and enter everything?" And lucky they did have a lot of their data there. And even if they didn't, we've had clients that we had to help, and they only had bank statements, bank records. They didn't have anything else. But this particular client, they had all the files there, and I tell you, there was probably about 30 files that they had. We had to take all those physical files, take them back to the office, and get the bookkeeping team to process them all on the system. Now they paid for us to help them do the data entry, going back 5 years. So you can actually either migrate all your data over the last how many years you've been operating, or you can just decide to move only 1 year of data, or just the current year data onto the system. It's up to you. After a week, we go back and check on the client, on their progress, how they're going, and if they need any extra hand. So it takes roughly this discussion on this case study. I just want to give you an idea that it can take 1 to 2 weeks of getting yourself set up. It can take 1 day, or it can take 1 to 2 weeks, to be fully set up and be happy with what you have, and then be comfortable in using the system. And you can ask for extra training, when you are online and you are using the system, and you find that, I do need help in reviewing my reports, or I do need extra hand in setting up the suppliers, and getting automated emails from clients, or to clients, asking them for this and this and this, or your customers, so or your suppliers. So it's you can go back and say, can I get an extra training, or extra 2 hours, or are you able to give me an extra 2 hours free information session on using this? And it's up to the service provider. If they want to make you happy, of course they'll help help you to be able to use the software, because at the end of the day, as a service provider, we want to make sure that you are comfortable in the software you're using, because we know that not everybody is comfortable with softwares, when they start using it. So the support you get right from the start is very important, and you'll know whether the company is serious, or the service provider is serious about helping you to use the system well, and also it's important to them that they're giving you that right support as well. Next slide. So the last one here before we go to questions, I just wanted to say, once you are set up, the service provider will ensure support is there to help with any ongoing issues and changes. Important thing is that management takes ownership of the change and ensure all staffs are on the same page with using the accounting software, and training is provided to those who need additional assistance. You have to take ownership if you are the owner of the business, or if you are management. You own the data. Remember that at the end of the day is your data, not the service provider. And if you move to another software, that's your data. You can move with it as well. You are now online and should start seeing efficiencies in your business straight away. If you are not, you need to see why and fix it, because softwares are as good as the people who are setting it up and the people who are using it. So you need to remember that. Last but not the least, with BLP subsidy program, software costs and accounting and advisory fees are subsidized at 50% if you meet the SME criteria. So having BLP support, subsidy support, has been really good for a lot of the SMEs that we have helped, and I'm pretty sure, but with other service providers, accounting firms as well, who are part of this program, and also other consultants as well. So joining up to this program with your service provider or accountant will really help cut your costs. And going on the cloud, you don't have to pay the full fee to get yourself set up. Thank you, and I think you can now ask your questions.
Thanks so much, Akae. That was so good. I know that you said before, by the way, everybody, if you are keen to ask Akae any questions, now's your chance. You can just type them in the chat box, which you can find on the top right-hand corner of your screen. And Akae, while we wait for some questions to come through, I know you said that you didn't have a preference out of those three, but if you had to pick just one, which one would it be?
I cannot really pick because they're all different. I mean, they have similar features in in their modules. They can do everything that you need for your accounting. I would say if you are looking for something so easy that you're not going to spend much time on, maybe QuickBooks Online is the one you should choose. But if you are sophisticated user, or you want to have more analytics and reporting, especially annual reports, if you want to create that online, then it's Xero. And if you want unlimited files that you can have all in one company file, then it's MYOB. So that's, I would say at the larger end, I'd go for MYOB, but at the smaller end, it would be QuickBooks or Xero. I'm happy with all three. Sorry, I can't.
That's good. Thank you. We've got a question here. What is the cost of migrating the data to the cloud for a small business?
It depends on who's providing the transfer for you or providing the software for you. In our case, it can cost roughly $200 if you are migrating a year or more from whatever desktop you are to the cloud. But if you are just using opening balances for the current year, so you're using opening balances from prior year to the current file that you're going to use, it doesn't cost anything. It's only when you're migrating data. It depends on the time. If it's 1 year, it won't cost much. If it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to 5 years, then it might take time, especially depending on what format you are in. If it's a QuickBooks, moving up to QuickBooks, that's easily done. It shouldn't cost much. It depends on which country you are in. But if you are moving from a different software to another software, that might need a little bit extra time. But in most cases, if it's easily moving from your same software to the next software on the cloud, it shouldn't cost anything. It's only when you're moving from another software or when you're moving from nothing, because there is data entry time that has to be taken in. Hope that answers.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good point, actually, depending on where you're coming from or where your starting point is. I have another question here. What is the difference between cloud software and cloud platform?
So a cloud software is a fully cloud software. You are, for example, Facebook is a fully cloud software. It's not on a desktop at all. So like MYOB is not a cloud software, because it was done on desktops for desktops. Whereas Xero and QuickBooks, for example, they're fully cloud softwares, like Facebook and a few others. WhatsApp is a full cloud software. So a cloud software is created on the cloud. Whereas if you are talking about a cloud platform, a cloud platform is you are using the cloud to share that software, to share the software to your users. So that's what the cloud platform is. It's just you are on the cloud. Whereas it's the opposite to using a desktop platform, where you don't need internet to share the file or to work on. So that's the difference between the two. So like MYOB is not a cloud software, but it is using the cloud platform. We are sharing it on the internet.
Great, thank you. I have a question myself. Do you think there is a right time to switch from desktop to cloud for a small business, for a growing business?
This is the best time to do it. While COVID-19 is happening, and there's a lot of there's support right now because everybody is talking cloud. This is the right time. Like, we've been preaching about it for over 3 years. And all of a sudden, this year, there's been a huge increase in business houses moving over to the cloud. So now is a really good time to go on, because you can take your data anywhere with you. If you need to close down your office in town, or close down your office in a location, you don't need you don't need to worry about your data. It's already on the cloud for you. As long as you're up to date with your data entries and everything is sitting up there. All your receipts, all your invoices from suppliers, you can upload them all on the cloud. So you don't have to just take the information and put it on the cloud. No, you can actually take a photo of it and upload it straight away when you're entering it. So that way, all your documents are saved on the cloud. So you can walk away from any physical setting, office, location. You've got everything saved there. And you have subsidies. Subsidies are available right now to support, to help you to set up.
Yes, that's right. So our BLP subsidy scheme is a great way to get started with with cloud-based accounting software right now. It's the prime time to connect your business with the local business advisor in Papua New Guinea or anywhere else in the Pacific Islands. Beach Accounting Advisory, Akae, is a BLP quality approved advisor as well. So she is one of the perfect people for you to connect with to get this work started. Akae, do you have any tips or tricks for navigating online cloud-based accounting software? Any life hacks?
Well, I mean, there's maybe there's so many I can think of, but the important thing is you have the right, you have the computer with the right Windows updated version. Don't use any of the old stuff, and have good internet. That's all that's what I stress to clients, is that have a good internet working, and communication, like communicate with your team and your support, your service provider, and your clients, online, because you're just going to keep going around in circles if you are not making the decision to move up to the cloud. Once you have the right tools to use, the right computer or in a smartphone, it's also one of the good things is going on the cloud is you can use your smartphone if you don't want to carry your computer everywhere. You can do all your work on your phone, and we are on our phone a lot during the day. So make use of that smartphone, by running your business on it. So it's important that you have a good smartphone and a good computer with the right version. And I tell you what, you can do anything on the cloud. Move everything onto the cloud, even your database as well. I mean, there's other cloud programs that we use, like Google Suite. I don't have to have IT set up for me. I do everything to give my email addresses to my staffs. I set up everything on Google Suite. So that's a discussion another day. But move everything onto the cloud, so that way you don't have to worry about downtime with your business. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really great point of utilizing other digital tools to help with business efficiency as well. At Business Link Pacific, we also use the Google Suite. All our files are in the cloud. It makes it really easy for any of us on either here in New Zealand or over in the Pacific Islands to work remotely and still work together as a team. So yeah, that's a really good point. If anybody else has any questions for Akae, we've got about 5 minutes left. If you have anything else you'd like to ask her, and if you do think of anything else this afternoon or tomorrow, you can send me an email to media@businesslinkpacific.com, and I can forward your request on to Akae, or you can email her directly. Akae, what was your email address again?
Sorry? It's Akae, AKAE .BEACH, so akae.beach at BAALTD.co.
Awesome. I'll include that in our email that will go out after this webinar with the webinar recording as well. So you can get in touch with Akae directly if you wish. Akae, again, thank you so much for coming back and talking to us in more depth about cloud-based accounting again. It's very much a hot topic at the moment, and you've got a huge wealth of knowledge that you are willing to share with everybody in our network. And we've got some new faces here today as well, which is great. We are moving our webinars from weekly webinars to fortnightly webinars after today. So our next webinar will be Thursday, the 27th of August. And it'll be another awesome accounting webinar from Wayne Morris, who's a partner at Morris and Sojnoki Chartered Accountants in Solomon Islands. And he'll be breaking down how to read a financial statement, which I think will be really interesting for all of our SME owners. Akae, any final thoughts before we wrap up today?
Thank you everyone for listening, and thank you BLP as well. It's been a great, awesome relationship with BLP these last few years, and I hope it continues. And I hope that business houses out there, SMEs out there, take advantage of the offering and the support given by BLP. Great team to work with, and they don't really require so much from you. So that's a plus. So get on to the subsidies. Talk to your accountants or talk to the accredited advisors. And they can help you. But last and not the least, get online, because that will really cut your cost and help you with running your business at this COVID period, and even going forward as well, because most people are moving online now. And you don't want to be left out, including the accountants out there as well. Please jump on the cloud and do all your accounting there as well for your clients. Thank you, and God bless.
Thanks so much, Akae. Great advice, and we'll leave it there for today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.